All right, you guys, we are officially live.
So we should do like an intro, right?
Yeah, I got all the stuff about to come. I just gotta mute my YouTube one real fast. All right, and we're officially starting. So, hello everybody.
What's up, everybody?
Hey everyone.
I don't know how you guys feel, but I'm excited to be reviewing episode 3.
Right. It was a lot of tea this episode, even though some tea wasn't needed, but I was always there for it.
Are we
How
frozen?
y'all feel? How y'all feel?
I'm not sure if anyone was talking. I couldn't hear nothing.
Hello.
Hello?
All right, so
All right.
Auntie
Can't hear
Sheree,
you. There we go.
Auntie Sheree was going far.
We're having technical difficulties. Um, my co-host, are you there?
Yeah, I'm still here. So y'all didn't hear anything I just said.
No.
We were about to get into some things. I said because some of the ladies were doing the absolute most.
hmm
And Auntie Sheree, I was not happy with her
Not Auntie Sheree.
this episode. Yeah, I was not happy with Auntie Sheree this episode. I don't know what sis got going on, or if she think because she dealing with a halfway house guy that she can be giving off the energy that she be giving off. But I wasn't here for it.
I was very much so here for it. She had every right. Like Drew was trying it. I'm sorry.
See, I feel the complete opposite about that, but we'll get into that. So, for those of you guys who don't know, what this is how our stuff is normally set up. If you guys do not watch the show, we'll give you guys a brief recap of the important scenes, the meat, and the meat and gravy, the meat and rice, all the important stuff. All that other stuff that they do is not too good on there. It's just like filler scenes. So we're gonna give you guys what you guys come here for. So the very first scene that we had was Marlo and Sheree meeting up, And this is what I was saying about Auntie Sheree was doing too much because we're about to get into it. So let me go ahead and play the clip for those who haven't seen it.
Her bills. Thank God I ain't never gave her no money, because I would get my money.
But Kandi, I feel like we have a relationship.
Why the hell wouldn't Kandi call and tell you?
She should have came to me first. So I'm surprised you're saying any of this. Kandi don't like when the streets talk about her.
Oh, you don't have a sex dungeon? No, I do not. Oh, that's a lie. No, the lies. There you go. Lies. The lies.
But she think it's okay to spread lies about other people. Bitch, bye.
But has Drew called and told you this?
Absolutely not. Kenya told me. Kenya came over the other day, and Kenya told me this. Yeah, why are you telling everybody? Because if I start spreading the shit that he said about you and your husband, then you don't want that, T-Boo. Anthony has told me a shitload of things about her husband, her household, everything. The streets be talking, baby.
Now, wait a minute. You said Kenya was at your house the other day?
Kenya did come over.
Okay. Let me just stop. I got to focus on this one.
I mean,
Okay. First of all, Sheree always been that Sheree. That kiki messy. Soon as she want to talk about stuff messy, it's okay. But when other people want to be messy, it's not okay. Hold on.
Hearing
Are you
out one
there?
word you said.
You didn't hear anything?
No.
I said Sheree has always been Sheree. She has always been that messy girl that's giggling, balled up, like she just was in that clip. But as soon as another woman is being that same messy girl, it's not okay. Like, dish it, take it.
Yeah, that's what I was about. Somebody has me on in the background.
I don't know. I don't got anything.
That's not me.
Yeah, I don't got. Are you getting Coco Melon?
But like I was saying before, Sheree doesn't like her stuff to be out there, like you just said. But she constantly and she continuously does this stuff to people.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't really understand what was the point of her being too mad at Kandi when basically she does the same thing that y'all are doing. It's like multiple bone carriers this season.
Exactly.
Yeah,
It's
I
not just
understand
one.
that part. I feel you on that.
So, and then in regards to the situation with Drew, I just feel like there's plenty of cases that I'm gonna get to. So I ain't gonna go too far in yet because I'm gonna get in my bag when it's time to get in my bag. So I'm gonna let Auntie Seasoning live for these little few minutes because when we get to this very ending, I'm gonna hop in my bag. And I call Sheree Auntie Seasoning because Sheree's that season in the black people households that expire, but y'all keep around. Like y'all use it and then y'all throw a little dash on here every now and again.
Oh my gosh, why you hate Sheree like that?
I'll hate Sheree.
Not the expired.
You know, like
That sounds like a
That's the-
compliment. That sounds like a compliment. That's good cooking.
that ain't a. I mean, it's a backhanded compliment. It is a backhanded compliment because you know, like they recycle her. You know, she get a new facelift, get her chin done, get them wrinkles out of her neck, and she come back and then she start off strong, end off kind of weak, and then we don't see her for like 2 seasons.
Yeah, they do be doing the girl dirty.
But yeah, I'm gonna get into Auntie Seasoning in a little bit because I haven't been feeling her these last 3 episodes, to be honest. So the very next scene, that we have is the Todd and Kandi scene. And a lot of people were feeling some type of way, and they feel like that Todd, you try and play Kandi about how he feels as far as them working together. But I really don't feel as like, I understand where he's coming from in this scene. I don't think it's like any. I don't feel like it's any extra. So I'm gonna play the scene and then you guys can discuss it for a hot minute.
Little left out.
I always try to include you in what I'm doing, but you were straight trying to cut me out of Socialize at first as a producer. You just wanted me to be talent. Yes, you did.
Socialize is about 4 females who start anonymous gossip blog. We filmed a pilot episode and we're pitching it. I have a deal on the table, so we'll see what happens.
You were just like, you can write the theme song and you can be in it, but I don't want you to be executive producer on this.
But I'm surprised you would even feel away.
It's not that, but if I do the same thing, like when we do stuff, if we don't include you, it's like, oh, you're not gonna include me in that.
This is the first time that this has happened. Everything else we've done together.
Right. Which I thought we was always doing stuff together, and then you tried to cut me out.
I create a lot of things that I don't care that I don't get credit for.
Okay.
Anything I create, oh, Kandi, da-da-da-da.
So you resent me when
I do
they
not
say
resent.
that.
You're putting some weird words
But
out.
that's the way it feels. Sometimes.
It's given hater husband that can't take his wife being more successful and famous than he is, but
I'm not getting that. I'm just getting he want to be like, he's a man and he wants to feel like he's able to take care of them. So maybe he want to take on a project where he gets the full payment and help out a little more around the house, because we already know Kandi is helping out the most. But
I understand, but since last episode, he's been crying about being left out or whatever, and instead of being supportive, and I feel like that's really the route to go. Like, don't complain that you're being left out when you done the same thing back to her. Like, yeah, I feel like I see you trying to get your coin and be head of household or whatever, but at the end of the day, like, your wife is, you know who you married. Like, you know Kandi was that girl when you married her. So you got to just take the back seat on that one. That's the life you chose. Okay. If you wanted a woman that was going to be like that, you should have married one. But
co-host. Are you there? So
hello.
Yes. So we just seen the clip. Yeah.
All right. So how did you feel about the clip?
But we just discussed it. We waiting for your opinion on it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had to do something real quick. That's why I had put that in the private chat. But what I was I feel like now that Todd and Kandi are a team, they give them, like they don't give him the recognition he deserves as a producer, because it sounds like very self-evident that they're a part of a lot of things together, and it's like they try to do him like Kim Zolciak and her husband. No, her husband was always around, but he was like never really, like, he was just her shadow. He was never really like into it or anything.
But he came with her family. I mean, he came with money. He came with his own money, like more money than Kim had. Ty comes
Yeah,
in
but
to this marriage as what was Ty? He was a camera guy on the
Todd was
Housewives
a camera guy, producer, somewhere
when
in
he
that
met her.
field.
Yes. So he wasn't making he didn't have what Kandi had. So I feel like when he
Technically,
I
him
feel
and
like
Kandi
he
were starting off on the same thing because she wasn't executive producing anything either.
no she wasn't, but Kandi came with her own money. Kandi came from a past of being an R&B singer and like managing her money well over the years. And she had her
Yeah, that has nothing to do with
what I'm
what
trying to
he's
say.
saying, though.
Yeah, but what I said when you said earlier, like how did what was our opinion on the video? What I said was I feel like Todd was is trying to be a man and he's trying to establish money of his own so he can take care of the family. Because we know that Kandi is taking care of majority of the things versus, what
They're
Todd. Go ahead.
they're a deal. I mean, not a deal. They're a team. So I feel
Yeah.
like she does her own stuff as far as her like being a writing and her being a part of Escape and her doing like multiple things. But I also feel like on the backhand, he does production. He also was doing the stuff with their restaurants. But I just feel like low key when they present stuff to him, they present stuff to him as if like Kandi, like big figure you. And then in all reality, it's a team thing. It's Kandi and Todd. It's not Kandi plus in small letters Todd. It's like Kandi and Todd. They're both that person.
I get that. I get how you view them, but Todd is still a man, and it's certain things that they need to feel or feel comfortable with, or feel like they need as a stability. And I feel like now that people are like how Kandi, well, basically how they were saying like he they give Kandi the credit instead of him, even though he works on it with Kandi. And I just feel like he wants something of his own, and he just not even of his own, just to say that this is mine. So they can't say that give Kandi credit for this, give Todd credit for it. And I think that's what he wants as a man.
Look, all right. So look at this for instance. So just like how this scene happened, later on, like sometime this week, they were part of like they are doing something production wise on somebody's show.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime they present stuff, they presented stuff as Kandi. It was like Kandi just got another job. Kandi had got another gig. It was like Kandi, and the whole entire time, it's Kandi and Todd.
Mm-hmm.
So just like how she was getting her own stuff, the person that just gave it now, I don't know if it's because she said something on like as far as it's not just a her deal, it's her and her husband.
Yeah.
But the thing that she had put in now as she had put, it was slated as Kandi and Todd.
Mm-hmm.
It was Kandi and Todd, like Tucker, on a production thing together.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it was presented. That's all I was saying. I don't think it's anything like what him feeling the need to provide, because they provide very much well on their own.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like it was a thing where it was like a lot of those people always put you and forget to put me, and it's like you really don't like low key kind of not say anything on my behalf. Like, yeah, in retrospect, both of our names is on a check together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, in retrospect, both of our names are on a check together, or you get a check, but I get a check. But at the end of the day, if somebody looks him up, what is going to pop up on his thing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you look her up and stuff, you'll see like the amount of things that she produces and stuff like that. But if you look him up, you'll literally have to look him up to see the work that he does. And I think that is, I think that's a I think that's a slap in the face one to him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that doesn't do him any justice, because why does he have to put in 2 or 3 times the work that his wife has to put in order for him to get his accolades if they're doing the same thing?
Mm-hmm.
As far as production wise.
Are you talking about like production wise on the show or?
No, so the whole like stick of the situation was they do like production stuff together.
Right, but like Kandi is famous. Todd is not famous. So my thing is, okay, you want your accolades, you make sure that you do that for yourself. But if you're on something with your wife and she's the bigger one, that's just what's gonna happen. This happens all the time in the movie, TV show industry and shit like that. Like they always put like the bigger person ahead of whoever your spouse is. Like couples do things like that all the time, and the bigger couple is the one who gets the accolades for it because they're the one who's known. Nobody cares about Todd. Who cares about Todd? Nobody.
But that's what I'm saying though. So like that would be like if that was us.
But he should never. But guess what? When he first started dating Kandi, like Mama Joyce was trying to say, he's like piggybacking off of her. He should have like made sure that was something that was stamped. Like you don't just start doing stuff with her and think, oh, you're not gonna live in her shadow. You are, because she's the bigger person. Like she's a more famous person than you, so of course you're gonna be in her shadow if you started off like that. That's what y'all started together. So at this point I feel like it's something that he let get away, like get like that. Like it just kind of snowballed like that.
But I feel like it's just I feel like just like that would have been like if he would have came out and he'd have like, oh, I write with Kandi. It's like, all right, true, right, but it's Kandi. So I feel like because he was already in production, and Kandi joined him on production, because she probably didn't really get her first like stamped executive producer thing until it was her own spinoffs.
Yeah.
That it was like, all right, Kandi moved on to production, so it's like, all right, like you know how like artists have like when they do like they direct their own music videos, they be like their debut stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then like you never really hear of it like ever again. Like artists like Beyonce, for instance. Beyonce executive produces multiple things of her own, but you never really hear like Beyonce executive produced this, and this. You always hear it the one time and then never again, because it's like, all right, she dabbled in it. You'll expect it from her now. Like Kandi, like she dabbled in it. You'll expect it from her now. But when it's somebody that's actually like that's their main bread and butter, I feel like it's a little different. And I don't have a clip for this, but I do want to talk about this. And that's Mr.Nose Ring.
Wait, before we go anywhere, I wanted to say, let's not forget all the other issues that's going on within Todd and Kandi relationship right now. Let's not forget that Kandi is saying that they're not having intercourse, and he is saying that, and let's not forget that he's saying that she working too much and she needs to like spend more time, you know, with the family and things like that. Like I think it's more to just Todd, you know, Todd wanting something of his own or wanting to stand out on his own. I think the issue is like plain and simple. Todd is horny, like, and he needs to release some tension. And it's a lot. You can see it all in their relationship right now in the season. They never had any issues in their marriage. Look at what's going on with them. Like, look at.
I mean, but it's the same thing every time with them. I think that's just like outside of the sex thing, but that's different. Like you have kids, like you have 2 kids at this point. Like you have Ace and then you have Blaze. But I just feel like they always feel like like they always feel the same way about her. I feel like it never changes. I feel like every season, everybody always feels like she overworks herself and she does too much.
But Kandi has been a single mother for a long time, and that's all she she has known to do is work and work hard to support and take care of her and her child. Like, it's one thing.
Yeah,
What is
but
it? People, you
the
know
stuff
how
is
when
different when
people
you're a
are of a
wife
certain
and you've been
age,
in it for like
it's
that's
hard to
different
break
though.
habits.
That's different though. It's not a habit at this point. They've been married for how long? It's not like they just married. They've been married for how long now? It's not a habit at this point. It's just something that she's accustomed to doing.
I,
She's
I,
accustomed to taking care of it because she said it multiple times that she's the back. She takes care of them,
Everybody,
not as in her household, but
her
as in her
family.
family.
as
So that's never going to change because
no,
she
what
takes
I'm
care of
saying
them,
is,
even to the point where
but
she has multiple jobs for them.
she can have multiple jobs and take care of them and everything else. But what I'm saying is, as a woman, you're telling her to basically lay down everything she knows as far as taking care of all those family members to lean on someone that's not making
No,
as
that's not
much
what
as
I'm
her.
saying.
She it's
That's
harder.
what it comes off as, though.
Thank you.
That's
No,
why
I'm
I
not
was
saying that.
calling him a hater,
What I'm saying.
because you can't just, you know who you married. Once again, Kandi is a boss. You know who you
Mhm,
married. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can't marry
mhm,
somebody and think, oh well, all of a sudden now she gonna be in the house, cooking, cleaning, catering to you, sex whenever
mhm,
you want it, and you ain't even making the big bank like she is. Like,
mhm,
come on now.
I'm not saying that. I was saying the whole point of the matter was just like how her name is thrown on stuff, and that's why I was just stating that I feel like after they had this conversation, they see it a lot more now because right before this, they were both on something, but her name was the big name.
Mm-hmm.
mhm,
That would have been just like us
mhm,
if we were like our stuff kicks off, but I'm the only person that get like recognized, and then you two are on the back burner. It's like, well, I'm the face. Like my header has the name and stuff on
mhm,
there, and then y'all stuff is y'all stuff. So it's just like, oh well, I must do everything, and then y'all two are just here, like y'all commentate with me,
mhm,
I
because that's what
understand
a lot
that,
of.
but Eric Group got a Beyonce, so
I mean, but
mhm.
it's different when it's different when it's different when both of y'all are putting in the work, but only one person gets the recognition.
yeah, I understand that. I get that that could be really frustrating, but
So I wasn't saying like she needed to slow her life down and maintain her husband because at the end of the day they live a busy lifestyle. Their lifestyle is not like is not slow.
Mhm.
So I definitely do understand it, but I just feel like when it comes to that stuff, as a unit, y'all move as a unit. So just like how that becomes an accolade for you, or
mm-hmm.
that becomes another title under your belt, or that becomes something on your IMBD, or that becomes something on anything else that you're doing, have it the same setup for your husband.
Mhm.
But don't he gotta advocate for himself though? You a man.
I mean he
That's what
like
he's trying to
probably
do
does.
now. That's what he's doing now. That's why he's trying to get. He doesn't want her to be a header on this. He wants to be the take the lead,
Right.
and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to find his place in the industry without the help of Kandi, and that's all
Right.
because he's a man. That's why I say he's a man. Let's
It's
not
making
forget
him
that.
insecure, I think.
Yes, yes, he's dating a woman that he well, he's married to a woman that he came into, you know, a marriage into with
Yeah.
that's a millionaire. Like,
But
it's
okay, so do y'all
intimidating.
think this will be like, cause y'all remember with Nene, right? How her and Greg got divorced because she felt like Greg was low key hating on her and wouldn't like be supportive of like her being like get like the pants in the relationship. You think
Right.
Kandi and Todd is headed for a divorce?
No. And the only reason why I say that is because she's been in here long enough that she knows how this stuff goes.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Opposed to she who was no longer on the show.
Oh, don't be playing Nene like that.
As opposed to she who was no longer on the show, she came on and did what she had to do. But like I say it all the time, I feel like she's always going to be one of them persons, and I'm not going to spend too much time on her. Who feels like because she did what she did, is everything. Now it's everything about her, and then when she doesn't get her way, it becomes like a hissy fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like you know who your man is, like you knew who you married,
Right.
like you were like not saying you were nothing without him, but you were nobody in the
She was a
industry.
stripper hoe.
Exactly.
Wait, who was
You were
a
nobody in the
stripper hoe?
industry
Nene.
until you got wifed up.
He took off the pole.
Like,
Stop
yeah,
stuffing your mouth.
old face and everything.
R.I.P. Great.
I don't know. I
Right.
think they might do a little separation because
No, he ain't going nowhere.
I don't know. No bedroom time.
He
He's
ain't
spending
leaving.
time outside. Men be cheating when they get a lot of time on their hands.
He ain't leaving that booty, that money, nor that alleged dungeon. He ain't going nowhere.
Child, they take too many vacations for them not to do nothing.
He just, I'm telling y'all what it is. It's sex. He's salty. It's sex.
He better go play with a bedroom king.
Man, he's a man.
Next topic, and I hate to have to keep talking about this, but I know it's a part of her storyline ever since she was married for 6 months, but Mr. Moore and Mrs. Nose Ring.
Kenya Moore.
Who is Mr. Nose Ring?
Her husband. That's not her husband. That's her husband.
Oh, don't come for Marlo, but go ahead.
Ain't nobody say nothing about Marlo.
It was Mark, her husband.
Oh, I forgot about him in that Nose Ring. But go ahead.
That scene, I don't have the clip for it because it wasn't. I guess they didn't deem it too important. But that scene with her talking about her daughter's birthday.
Oh yes, yes.
And her saying that he wasn't going to probably contribute or show up had me so mad. I felt so bad for her, but not bad to the point where I would stand her because I don't stand her that much. But that scene had me so heated. I was so mad.
Yes, I felt like, first of all, I felt like when everything she said to that lady was none of that lady's business. Like, why are you talking to her about that? Like,
probably for the show, I think.
I get it, but God, she ain't learning last time. Just saying random stuff to people. She was sitting there talking to that lawyer and got her heart broken right on national television. So
yeah.
I just feel like she shouldn't have talked to that girl about it, but I just felt like we also she doesn't really have a storyline. She doesn't. And even when she just gave that lady, it was not a good storyline. Like, so you said all that to tell the lady that you would rather have it closer to 10,000 because you'll be paying for it by yourself. You could have just said that.
Which she crazy for? Because that
now, what I will say, I think that is good that she gets a break.
A break how? Like from being dragged?
No, I feel like it's good that she gets a break from not having a storyline. Like you guys said, that she doesn't have a storyline this season. I think that's fine for her because last year she got ate up a lot. Not as far as cast wise, but as far as like the internet. It was one of those situations where it was like, girl, tighten up. Like, I don't know if you got to put a waist trainer on or if you got to go get them knees done or if you got to get them screws tightened. But it was like tighten up because he was like hitting her blow from blow from blow and wasn't even on TV.
You said what?
I say he was getting blows for blows for blows, like doing her like and he wasn't even on TV.
That's what happened when you rush into a marriage just because you want a husband and a kid.
And like she could not win. So I feel like it was kind of okay for her not to have like that much of a storyline. But I just feel like he's just so like he's so whack.
Mm-hmm.
And to any female that's going to entertain him after this is over with, has no morals and self-respect.
He's a queen. Like honestly, I feel like even from like 2 seasons ago with like when Nene was on the show, like how he was talking to her and just treating her, and I'm like, dang, Kenya, like you letting this man talk to you any type of way and shutting you up all crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It was like I lost a little respect for her because you know how she be coming with the girls. You would think that with her husband, I don't know, she would kind of like want for him to speak to her to a certain level and like respect her at a certain level and come for him if he didn't. But she's just like a shy little dog.
But I think it's also like the standards of, you know how they say, like when you get married, like you they want the females to tend to be a little bit more submissive to their men.
No, I think
There's
he
a
had a
difference
control
between
problem.
submissive and stupid.
No,
And
I
submissive
mean,
and
obviously she
controlling.
can't tell the difference, but we're not about to sit here and act like she ain't have a lot going on. So I'm thinking because she was getting because she had got married and because the dude was giving her the little self attention that she was getting,
Mm-hmm.
that she's been lacking for all years of her life.
yeah.
That she's like, I could probably deal with this a little bit.
Yeah, she's settling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the fact that, but honestly, I don't know because him not being at the party, I didn't really expect him to be at the party because it was a filming thing, and I just feel like he don't like being in front of the camera and being on TV like that. So.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
because
already
he
been
was
said that
doing
he
all
doesn't
that
like the
cheating.
show.
He was doing
You
all
said
that.
what?
He was doing all that cheating.
I said it was
Mhm.
already stated that he didn't like the show anyway.
Right, like he been didn't like the show, so I didn't expect him to be at her birthday party, and I didn't want to see him there because with all that mess that was happening, he would have embarrassed Kenya.
I just felt like they could have just put like not even as far as they, because it's more of a him situation, because she just would have sucked it up and dealt with it just for the strength of their daughter, because it's very self-evident that she just wants this to be done and over with now.
Yeah, she love that baby.
So I just felt like he just could have took his dress off, went into that closet, put his pants and suit on, and shined up that nose ring and went down there and supported his daughter.
But I don't know because, like I said, me personally, I wasn't a fan of that party. I feel like she was being messy, and it's a kids' party, and y'all don't have no place being messy like that at no kids' party. Like it didn't even seem like it was the baby's party. Like it didn't seem fun at all. Like you spent 10 bands on a party like that. I need to see some crazy shit happen. I need to see the kids having fun. Like them kids was not having fun, and y'all was just there being messy and arguing. Like. I wasn't here for the party.
That's all I was about to say. So now that we're done with like the small stuff, let me get in my book bag real quick so we can get these girls together. Like, now we can get it together because that scene, and I can't wait to talk about it because the double standards between these ladies, and I can't wait because I don't know if you guys watched the Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, the first season.
No, I didn't really watch it that much.
All right, but I'm gonna definitely explain one scene from it, and then we're gonna piggyback off of it because what she just did during this scene was exactly something that she had that she faked had a major problem with, which is ultimately why her and why her and Cynthia are not that cool anymore.
Mm-mm.
So I just feel like Brooklyn's whole party, as sad as it has to be because it was a kids' party, was just a whole scene based on double standards. That's what that whole last scene from there until we got to see next time on Real Housewives of Atlanta was a whole scene of double standards between her and Auntie Expired seasoning.
Oh, Sheree.
So, yeah, I was only saying that it's double standards because if you guys watch Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip, each episode, one of the ladies had to host an event.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you guys know normally when Cynthia hosts anything that she does the belly cue. And you remember how that, like the year that Shamari was on there, they had the Pass the Peach event.
Mm-hmm.
The year after that, they had that award thingy.
Mm-hmm.
So Cynthia recycled an event and did the reward stuff. Kyle asked basically what was the reward stuff about. Cynthia basically explained that it was like class superlatives. They vote on who they like on each accolade that's presented.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, one of the trophies said who's the prettiest. Cynthia was like, it doesn't have to be about looks.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, you can vote on me. She's like, because you'll say like Cynthia's pretty on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll get the reward. Kaya was like, oh, she doesn't want to play it. It's a little too shallow. Kenya double backs and was like, yeah, this game is a little too shallow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. She went against Cynthia.
Yeah.
She always goes against Cynthia.
At the wrong times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, you say something like that, but then you have a game that you had presented at your daughter's party. And then when they was like, oh, this is a kid's party, like why would we be playing this at a kid's party?
Right.
And you was like, oh, well, the kids are having tea time, so it's like the adults have tea time.
Mm-hmm.
Like y'all could have had a different game to play.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have to be that.
Right.
Not at the kids' party, like
no.
But
and that's why I said this whole scene was based off double standards.
And that was the same exact issue that Kenya always wants to be messy, and that was the same issue that she was having with her husband. That she always wanted to be messy, even at the event that they had together. Kenya was there. They got into a disagreement because Kenya and the other ladies were, being messy, like arguing and everything at an event. And then him and Kenya got into it. But that was his issue. One of his big issues with Kenya is she's always being messy, and that's a prime example to have a tea, whatever she called the little game.
She always stirring the pot, and then she want to hide her hand and act like she's so innocent. Like, oh, I didn't mean for it to be like this. No, yes, you did. Because why'd you even bring that up?
Always want to stir the pot and then want to cry when she get dragged, because that's the outcome. Part. Thank you.
Yes. So let's go ahead and start it off with this one.
I guess I picked this one. Kandi sucks dick in locker room. That's a lie. Nobody wrote that.
Wait, what happened?
Who would like to claim your cards?
I was expecting tea, but not this kind of tea at a 3-year-old birthday party.
Who was the athlete, honey? Tell it.
Was it before her husband? Was it yesterday?
What locker room? She can go to college this year.
Who think that they know some tea on me about sucking dick in a locker room? Of all places.
I've never in my life sucked dick in a locker room. Ever. Never, ever. Never.
So I'm highly offended.
I would like to know who decided to put this on the card.
Who wrote that? No, something. You gotta own that.
Oh my God. Come on, y'all. Let me see.
I absolutely did not write that tea.
That is a serious accusation. I'm just saying.
I didn't write it, but I wouldn't be surprised if she sucked dick in like her.
Me personally, I felt like Sheree did that.
Marlo did it.
The only reason why I say I felt like Sheree did it is because Sheree is mad at Kandi. And this is why this falls under another section of the double standard stuff, which I'm going to get into as we go like deeper into like these last few clips that I have.
Right.
But I felt like Sheree did that. And I'm about to explain that right after we play this next one.
He said he was your assistant.
He's not my assistant.
But then he said that he had to cut ties.
He had to cut ties?
Because you never paid him. That's what he said.
First of all, he was not my assistant.
Okay,
well, let me tell you the real. So, and this is the thing.
I don't know it for sure because I don't know you.
Okay, so if you don't know it for sure, then why are you spreading it?
It's a good icebreaker. I didn't.
Did you not tell Kandi? And then Kandi told Marlo, and then Kandi told Kenya.
Oh, see, I have nothing
Did
to do with
Kandi
that.
tell anybody else this supposed tea?
I literally was trying to give Drew a chance to go ahead and tell on herself and tell the tea herself.
Can you please tell me what you're
just said
talking
you never
about?
paid him.
Now I'm in trouble.
Anthony was never my assistant, honey.
Well,
Let me tell
said you
something.
wanted to. Well, yeah, he said he wasn't because you never paid him.
Well, why the did I pay somebody if they're not my assistant?
But he had emails about She by Sheree that he was trying to put together the line.
Listen, I
and you
gave
didn't want to
Anthony.
pay the money
Are you
for
gonna
it.
shut the up for a second so I can talk?
Why are you so turned up? Like it was.
Because I'm turned up. Because first of all,
it's
don't play with me,
very
my
not
finances,
matching the
and my
moment,
kids,
girl.
So I'm trying, girl.
He said he was your assistant.
He's not my assistant.
But then he said that he had to cut.
That's what I was saying, that I felt like she was the person who said that about Kandi.
Yeah, because he did keep saying Kandi said, and Kandi and Kandi.
Yeah, and that's where I go and I say about the stuff with the double standards. Because there's another clip that's going to come up that I have, which I could probably just play now, really, if I want to. But
go ahead.
I probably won't even play the clip anymore. But
just play it. What's it about?
It was basically, she was telling Kandi that she wanted to have a conversation with Kandi.
Mm-hmm.
And Kandi was like, why are you mad at me for? And she was like, because she doesn't know Drew. She knows Kandi. And Kandi was just going around telling her business. And she only told it to Marlo. And
that's what she do. That's what everybody does.
Exactly. And that's why I was saying that this whole segment is based on double standards.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she literally wore a shirt with a bone carrier on it.
Yes,
and
not only that, but it's like, dogs, if we could rack up evidence from every season that her and Kandi was on there together where there was some type of rumor about Kandi, you did not one time go back and say anything to her about Nan rumor that was spread against her.
Yeah, she's told everybody before it got to Kandi.
Prime example. When her and Kim Zolciak was sitting down, and Kim Zolciak basically was like, yeah, Kandi wanted to mess with her.
Mm-hmm.
Kandi said something to her during that reunion. And she's like, you heard that I wanted to sleep with Kim. And then Sheree was like, because she asked Sheree, she was like, why wouldn't you say anything? And she was like, oh, because I could have sworn like I heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, you heard that I wanted to sleep with Kim. And then she like tried to play it off and tried to act like it wasn't that, it was something else. It's like dogs.
Sheree don't got no loyalty to nobody.
Exactly. And as I would say, I'm not going to say her name because, I'm not too fond of her. But y'all favorite girls, Little Miss, the show can't survive without her. And it can. She was the prime example.
Nene?
Yeah.
He is.
You going to say Nene's name. Listen, Nene is Housewives of Atlanta. She is the queen. She did that. She let fame get to her head, but that's okay. We all human. Nene made that show. The show is still scrapping after Nene left. They need her.
No, they don't.
That's just fact.
And guess what?
They don't need
Beyonce was head of Destiny's Child,
need
and Kelly and
that.
Michelle is doing mighty fine without her. On to the next case.
Yeah, they need
They're
her.
not as
I'm
doing as good.
sorry.
They're not
They
doing
They
need to
not as
bring
doing as
Portia
good,
back.
but everybody before her that was on there, with the exception of who? Maybe Sheree was doing fine before they got put on that platform. The
They
platform
need
might
to
have
bring
boosted
Nene and
though.
Portia back. I need to see Nene.
I wouldn't use Sheree. It only took her 10 years for Chateau Sheree. But go ahead.
But exactly, I mean, it did take her half a decade to build her home from the ground up. But that's what I'm saying. Like when she was saying, just say that you have no, like when that lady said, just say that you don't have no loyalty to anybody. She was like, I'm loyal to who's loyal to me.
Mm-hmm.
How can you expect that? Because multiple times, multiple ladies on this show was loyal to you, and you didn't, not nan thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like you did not do one thing to any of those ladies that were loyal to you. So it's like, all right, dogs, you can't be the only bone collector. There's multiple bone collectors. At the end of the day, like it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Y'all have the same assistant. The assistant said you didn't pay him. Girl, if the IRS had a track record on you, I'm quite sure there would be a lot of people who would be on your thing that did not get paid.
Stop pushing out messy energy and you'll quit getting messy energy. Like
you don't pay people.
Being messy.
Andy called you to Donald Trump and you was like, you pay who needs to be paid, and you did not pay that boy.
Yeah. But like, that boy, I feel like he messy too. And I feel like he kind of looking for like a
girl,
to be
we're about to get into this.
Wait, I just want to say that Sheree has been on the Housewives for how many years? She needs to start getting her assistants to sign NDAs. Like, we're not going to.
Girl, she's been. Don't say she's been on for how many years? That girl has been off and on. Sheree is like a second string player. They pull her out when they need to, and whenever first string gets back good, they set her right back on that bench.
Yeah.
She still was on there way too long.
Sheree is
not to be on the level where she gets assistants to sign NDAs. I'm sorry.
And that's what a lot of these folks. But we're about to get into that because when I tell y'all, I'm about to have my foot on this man's neck, and I'm not even going to say his name.
I don't know his name for real.
I'm about to have his foot on his neck, but we can play this. I mean, do we even? I don't think that we have to play it, but so I don't know if you remember, Selena, but remember that season of Basketball Wives?
Oh, I don't watch Basketball Wives.
No, you don't watch it?
Mm-mm.
All right, so for those who do not know, because I done my due diligence, shout out to Black Twitter for helping me. I've done my research. This assistant, Mr. Healthy Libation, get into it. He's looking for a come up.
So wait, he was on Basketball Wives?
He was basically, there was a rumor about 2 seasons ago where it was this rumor that they were trying to say that Malaysia doesn't take care of her kids.
What's his name? Healthy Libation?
That's what he was that's what he was saying. But I have a picture somewhere, but I don't know if it's really going to show, but it was a picture of him with it probably won't, you guys probably won't see it too well, but right on the left side of him is Malaysia's cousin. And there was this thing that was going on where they were trying to say that Malaysia didn't take care of her kids, and they were saying that it had came from Jennifer. They said it to Jennifer, and it was like it was somebody's assistant. And they ended up calling the person, and the person that was on the phone was him.
No.
Messy.
And they was like, well, they was like, hey, whatever, like his name or whatever. And they was like, did you hear the rumor from Jennifer? And he was like, he didn't hear the rumor from Jennifer. He was like, he heard the rumor from somebody that's friends with Jennifer. And he was like, the lady's name is Ashley. And Jennifer was like, she doesn't know a Ashley. So then they spun it around and tried to make it seem like it was from Jackie, which had caused Jackie and Malaysia to fall out. And that's why I was saying, like, I know it's Atlanta, and I know Atlanta is the mecca for LGBTQIA plus people. But these folks got to start doing their research.
But I feel like
some people broke too.
I feel like hiring him as an assistant, they knew what they wanted. Like they knew where they were getting. And I feel like his personality, from what we've seen, you know, the clips that we've seen with him on the show, shows and tells you exactly what type of person he is. Not that he's, you know, gay or anything, but the fact that he's going to tell you, yes, exactly. He's very messy. And you get that about him. Like, soon as Kandi walked through that door, he was very messy from the rip. And I feel like some of their lives are boring outside of the housewives, you know, outside of the taping seasons. And so they need that action. Like, that's how they remain, street smart. That's how they remain young, you know, to know what's going on and what people like and what people don't like. So they look to their assistants and things of that nature.
There's a difference, because let's use this for instance. You had Don Juan, always was in females business,
right?
Was Team Kandi all the way,
right?
But Don Juan played his position as an assistant. There was never not one time where you heard Don Juan was working with multiple people and you were hearing that Don Juan was selling Kandi's business to them, and then he was running back and going back and selling their business to Kandi.
Right.
Kandi's smart though. She's an industry girl, so you know first of all, that's her best friend.
She does her due diligence.
She probably had him sign NDAs too.
She's a perfect example of why you do your due diligence on the people that you hire.
I don't even think it's due diligence. I feel like Drew, like what you saying, I think Drew brought him on there to be messy. She know what was happening. I don't think that it was a situation where she wasn't doing her due diligence. She brought him on there to be messy, and I guess she ain't know how messy he is, because look, he talking about her too. But
exactly,
it's just, I feel like it's just been a thing where like it's cool to have a gay assistant or a gay best friend, or some type of gay person accessory on like black TV shows to spice it up. I think that's what they're doing. I don't think it's a situation where she just so happened to have him as an assistant, and he just so happened to know this tea on Sheree. No, you brought that man on the show because you knew he had tea on Sheree, and you wanted that to come out, and you staged that for that to come out. I'm not jacking it one bit that it was coincidental. Like, I feel like she knew what was the tea, and she knew what was going to happen, and she just brought him on the show so he could say it on the show for a storyline.
I totally agree with Selena.
Yep.
I feel like they every season they have their token black gay man on the Housewives. Every season we had Kenya and what was his name, Brandon,
and then Miss Lawrence, and then the other one with the big calves, and then the white, like it don't mean like they always just have. It's kind of weird, but I guess go on. Kenya got down.
But that's what I was saying. Out of all of those folks, he's the only person where it's a situation like this. And I don't really want to compare him to this person, but I'm going to compare him to this person. He reminds me of a person like Sydney Starr. You know, like real extra for camera time, extra to do the most. And even like then, because I told you I do my due diligence, and like when we do stuff like this and things of that nature, I go on there. So just like how they were doing the stuff like that, and his name was steady coming up, he was like, oh, he had made a post and he was like something about he's like Kenya needs to worry about who house her man is trying to go to, And then he was like, Kandi needs to worry about fixing her reviews on her restaurant. And it's like, boy, you're doing too much.
Doing too much for the show.
And you're doing too much with the wrong people. And you're not even on the show.
It's the clout chase. That's all.
Let's be honest. He will never be a Don Juan. He'll never be a Miss Lawrence. He'll never be a Mr. Clayface.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name? Dwight, Mr. Clayface. He will never be a him. You'll never be any of those people. Like, you'll never be any of those people.
It's not giving what he thinks is giving. Like, he's not connecting up. Like, it just comes off as staged and you were just invited on here to cause some mess and go about your business.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And then it gets to the point where it's like, it's sucking the reality out of reality TV.
Yeah, yes, it is. And here's where I'll go back to where they need to bring back Nene and Portia, because they have organic drama. They got Drew drama is, aside from her husband, she don't got nothing else going on. She need that man. If her and Ralph divorce tomorrow, she's getting cut next season because she don't got a storyline. She's
actually,
boring.
if her and Ralph get divorced, she's gonna be Center Peach.
Man. Who?
That whole trial thing through their divorce thing, girl.
No, I'm talking about, I said a season, the next season after they get divorced. So she get divorced one season, the next season after that, she's getting cut because there's not going to be any storyline without Ralph. Drew after Ralph is nothing. Like, I'm so serious. Like, she don't got no storyline without her husband. She's very boring to me. And she don't even got good. She's not shady. She can't keep up with the girls. She's just not there. She's just not there.
As long as she keep up with Messenthy, she's good. Like, he's bringing her all the tea.
Yeah, yes, he is.
He's bringing even, like, I feel like he might be messy, but I feel like he's going with what was said at the little tea party or whatever. I think that he's bringing some things that Drew was in the dark about for years, like since last season with her husband, to the light, and he might he's bringing it because let's not forget the where did he go? North Carolina, or did he say to the beach or somewhere?
Florida or something like
Florida.
That. Crazy.
Exactly, because he needed a break. Child, no, I want Drew to stop.
I didn't think he was with no man, but now that Sheree done put it out there, it's like maybe he is with a man because he looks like he hate women. A man like this.
Sheree didn't even get the chance to put it out there.
Her friend. And then let's talk about her friend being a clout chaser. Because girl, why are you even involved?
Can we please play the clip?
Yes.
I was so mad. I'm like, why they have this girl talking to Drew? Like, why?
Before we drag her, can we just play this clip real quick?
Yeah, it's giving. I want to get an invite. She want to get an invite. She want a peach.
Yeah, I'm a chew up little Miss Jessie Jackson.
Yes, girl trying to be
Anthony.
Gonna talk about all your friends.
And you know who told your husband is gay?
Excuse me, what?
What happened? She told me that this guy has been harassing her, trying to be her assistant.
Not harassing, but you know he wants to come around.
But she didn't want to hire him because he's talking about you, and he said that your husband is gay and all of that. So.
All right, then what we're not going to do is ever bring up my husband's name in that light. Because I've just met you. And what you're not going to do is ever speak on my husband. That's what we're not going to do. This is not the place to ever do that.
Listen, don't tell me what to do. I'm just telling you.
No, you should stop talking.
I'm just telling you. No, I'm not going to stop talking.
Just stop talking.
I'm not going to
Thank you. Don't you ever do that. Because you don't know me. Don't you ever bring up my husband's name. Don't you ever do that.
It is.
She keeps protecting her assistant, but he's the one that's messing up your name.
Okay, guys. I'm so dead serious.
Guys.
This is
embarrassing. Our kids are here. This is embarrassing.
These kids ain't even over here.
This is a kid's birthday party.
Okay. Go, lady.
Let me see her out.
I don't know why she complaining. She knows that when you get this bunch of girls, what can go on.
I just want to thank you for coming.
Yeah.
Don't let it be personal.
It's not personal.
Oh, Lord, let that lady go with her baby. Kid didn't invite these bougie white folks over here. That is, oh my God, give me my daughter, and this is acceptable.
Thank you for coming. Thank you.
Kenya, don't invite your boyfriends, don't get it.
Child.
A mess.
I just want that lady to go. She could have left quietly. Like, we was about to get into all the like, please.
We ain't even on whoever this lady who signed her her contract for her face to be shown on this show, because she did that purely for camera time.
She already knew what it was hitting for. She knew what show.
Yeah, because you sat through all that mess. You sat through that locker room situation. You sat through that assistant situation. You sat through them shading Marlo's her place of income situation. Girl, you sat through all that, but something comes about somebody's husband, and then girl, all of a sudden, oh, it's kids here. Girl, them kids is sipping imaginary tea.
Child, let's talk about the real tea that was spilled on that table. Can we get there?
First of all, I just want to say before we even get anywhere, once again, Sheree, this is why I'm on Auntie season and neck. Because girl, she's sitting there doing underhanded stuff. Now, if you wanted to say that about Drew's husband, you could have said that about him.
Oh, Sheree.
Yeah.
I don't think Sheree wanted it to come out. I think that was a private conversation between Sheree and her friend.
Child, y'all just trying to stand this old wrinkled neck, got a neck.
No, I'm not standing. I really feel like no, because if you run it back, you can see that Sheree was like kind of like, okay, wait. Like, yeah, like I wasn't doing it right here. She probably was trying to ambush her with it, like on her own. Her friend just
let's talk. All right, so being that we're gonna do it, let's compare it to this. Oatmeal cream pie face, season 9.
Who is that?
I'm telling you, all these names.
You got these names.
You need to when you say their names, I'm gonna need pictures to pop up alongside.
Who is this lady? Like,
I would never give her the daytime.
Are you talking about Nene again?
No.
Then who is you? You gotta like put some pictures.
Kenya?
Because I don't know who that is.
Kenya?
No, Kenya's not oatmeal cream pie face.
It ain't Portia, is it?
It ain't Portia, but it has something to do with Portia. Think back to season 9.
Let me look at the cast.
Not the Queen of Thought. Never that.
Y'all done said everybody except for one person.
Phaedra?
Yes.
I know you tried it.
Leave Phaedra alone, because aside from what she did to Kandi, I like Phaedra.
Oatmeal cream pie face. This is a prime example. Remember when they was in they were in Hawaii?
Right.
And remember that table scene when Kandi pulled out them receipts and had Portia face on the ground. I mean, face on the ground. Mr. Potato Head. All the pieces were missing. Remember that scene? And when she was steady saying stuff, was steady sitting there pushing back them drinks, and then was steady looking at her like, why is she steady saying something to you when you were the person who told me? Remember when she was going off and she was like, I like to have fun, and the oatmeal cream pie face was steady shaking her head, and then it was the whole entire time she intentionally did that to try to ruin Kandi's life.
Child.
Not saying that they're in the same boat, but it's similarities.
She definitely had me fooled. She did.
I think her friend was just trying to take up for her friend. She heard Sheree saying shush, but she wanted.
She kept on going.
What Sheree probably told her about it, but she knew that Sheree didn't want it. Like Sheree probably really
Yeah,
never
her
wanted that to
phone
come
tried to
out,
get a
like about
moment.
her husband being gay. So I think that when Sheree was saying shush, she was trying to tell her friend just don't like, because she really didn't want it. Sheree didn't want to say it, but she
Well,
didn't want it
flat
to be
cheeks, me
said.
and you had to have a conversation when this is said and
But
over with, girl. Because you was just agreeing with me all day today. I don't know if it's because you was going out giving out candy bags to the school today, or
hey, you
what.
don't need to be telling the YouTube my personal life. On here, my name is so special, and that's all they need to know. So special is a single sexy lady. That's all they know.
Period.
I
Child,
don't know what it is,
whole housewife.
but
Listen, let me tell you something. Her friend was trying to take up for her, and her friend probably felt in that moment like, oh, girl, if you ain't gonna say it, I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna give it to her. And
but that's not what I would do. Because if it was any of you guys, I mean, and it wouldn't be you guys because you like ain't no way none of my people's is going to get eat up. Like if anything, we slicing and dicing, serving plates and clearing them.
Exactly. And do go.
That would
I
have
felt
been
like
something
her
where
friend was trying to get her 5 minutes of fame because you see
exactly.
every single season with these women. Remember that season with that man who was saying that Kandi and Kid and Phaedra was his hoes, and his wife, she was trying to get her little fame, 5 minutes of fame when she was talking about how Todd's like a opportunist or whatever. Like it's
Yeah,
always
girl,
somebody in
everybody
that
ate her up.
they put themselves in because they think that, okay, well, maybe if they like me, they'll ask me to come back even as a friend, like how they did with Marlo and Tanya and Latoya or whatever. Like, and then it's like you end up doing too much. You end up doing too
But
much.
you can't duplicate them. Like you can, like
You try to
there will
copy
never
it
be
to them and it doesn't work. Like it just doesn't
there
work.
will never be another Marlo. There will never be another Tanya.
Right.
There could possibly be another Latoya.
Latoya was doing too much. We don't even talk about her. She don't even need let's move on.
But
no, don't do
there will
Toya. I
never
love
be
her.
another them because you know why?
Toya was doing too much.
There will never be another them three, and we can consider them the big three of Friends of a Show.
Who?
Latoya, Tanya, and Marlo. Even though Marlo is a peach holder now, we can say that
I don't know if I put Latoya on there. I really don't. I really don't think she was given. Like
Yeah,
I
I
don't.
think the other girl should get the title. Everybody knows what was her name?
Shit, Portia's friend, Shamia.
Oh, Shamia. Yeah,
oh yeah,
okay.
Shamia.
Let's drop Latoya. And we'll put
Because I
Shamia
love
on
me
there.
some Shamia. Shamia was a real ass,
But we could drop Tanya too because the other girl was better than her too. The one
Who?
that got drunk at the dinner party and was like, "Oh, everybody knew me. Everybody knows me."
Girl, Giovanna is nobody, child.
Nah, Giovanna was there for a season. I wouldn't give it to her.
A couple seasons.
Girl, Giovanna was there for one
was
season,
up
and
there
girl,
with Bolo.
girl, and Giovanna ran out that room so quick when Portia got up pregnant and all.
Yeah, nah.
Miss, I was that girl from Clark.
I'm that. Yeah.
Little Miss, I'm that girl from Clark. Girl, hurry up and walk smooth across the street to Spelman when Portia got up.
Yeah, I like Yvonne too. She was messy.
But it will never be another them three. We'll take Latoya out and put Shamia in. There will never be a them three.
And then the camera wasn't even picking up on her that much. If you peep, like they really wasn't even trying to film her like that.
That's
Drew
why I
was
said
like, "Why are you talking to me?"
That's why I was saying she looks like Janet Jackson. I mean, Janet Jackson and sister. What's her name? Latoya Jackson.
Latoya.
You know how she looked like the thing from off of Cartoon Network when they be playing them Halloween movies. That spider lady.
Oh no! I thought you were talking about the thing from Creep Show.
Child, probably that too.
Go ahead.
But that's why I was saying it will never be another them three because them three are authentic. Oh, excuse me. And I just feel like that
she was trying to get
her camera time. And then her friend just sat there and let her just do it up. She said stop twice and shushed her down 2 times, but still ain't say nothing. Because if it was me, I would have been like, like, you're saying that, but he's spreading your business, and like that should have been something that you should have talked to Sheree about, so you could know the business that he's spreading about you and your man. Yeah. That's how you go about it.
Well, I just hope that next episode she confronts Messenger, because I'm for it.
Right.
And then I also want to say this, because I hate that this has to be that this has to be a deriving thing with multiple housewives, because this is starting to come out with multiple housewives now. But the stipulation of putting that somebody's man is gay when they become on Housewives is starting to kind of get played out.
Well, let's not forget what branch we're talking about. We're talking about Atlanta.
And the men in Atlanta be gay as day.
Them bananas be getting sassy. That's all I'm gonna say.
So, because he was in Florida with somebody, whether it be man or woman, he was down there with somebody.
Some of them do be sweet and sour. Hold the nuggets.
Don't hold
the
nuggets.
I don't think that Ralph is gay. Do I think Ralph be low key trying to cheat or try to creep around? Yes.
He creeping. He definitely creeping.
But I don't think Ralph is creeping with no man. Let's just be honest. If there was any type of chance that any of these folks were found out that these men were dating these women of that type of stature, girl, it'd be on Front Street.
I don't know, cause gay boys, they be real tight with the mouth. They don't be really telling who they fuck with. Like, they don't.
Child, they be tight with the mouth around who? Tight in the mouth around who?
I'm saying, I don't know. I feel like a lot of gay dudes don't be talking about the straight men that they have sex with, because
they really won't.
They don't. Like, they keep that shit under wraps. Like,
because they want to keep messing with them.
Yeah.
Child.
And a lot of them settle. They settle.
Y'all can do that if y'all want to.
I'm telling you, I know.
Men are men. Gay, straight, gender fluid, whatever you want to consider it. Men are men. As easy as it is for a man to sit there and pillow talk or to run down, and even some of these men be lying about females they be hitting, I'm quite sure they do the same with men.
Yeah.
They just do it the same way that everybody else does it in the vicinity of their friends.
Some of them don't even in that, they won't even give up the tapes.
I just know
if a man is walking around portraying that he's straight, they won't give up them tapes. And they want.
I'm just hoping that it come out that because he's cheating. We just want to know with who.
Yes, me too. I can't wait to find out.
Right.
And I think Drew knows that. I think she knows that, and that's why she keeps fighting to like try to figure out.
Do you think she's staying there because she not? I don't think she got her like that in the pockets, but I don't know what her husband be doing either. But I don't know. You
Drew ain't have a gig since she was Drew Sidora on the game.
So you think she's staying with him for money because he's blatantly disrespectful to her, and he's like, everything is just so obvious, and the fact that he could just leave and go to Florida like that, and she just not say or really do anything about it, it gives I'm only staying with him because I can't do better. Because she's pretty. It just don't look like she
really
got
it. Beautiful.
Take care of herself. She just I don't know. I don't think she got money like that to handle her handle.
He probably got more money than her. I'll tell you
I
what
don't
Ralph is
know.
right
I don't
now.
know if he got the money like that because that date that he did for her was ridiculous and mediocre as hell. You gonna bring that girl in the back of a
A
shop,
tailor shop.
like, are you kidding me? Looking like a damn dungeon back there. I was mad as hell. I'm like, he got some nerve. They want
He
to act
says
like he
he's a
did something so
speaker,
nice.
author, musician. He works in technology and business strategist.
Sound like a whole bunch of bullshit to me.
Now, author, musician, and whatever the other one is, ain't bringing in no
That
bread.
sound like some bullshit. It sound like
So
he don't
let's
got it.
look up. Let's see what a technology and business strategist made.
Because that his job, if he not linked to a company, that means that people have to hire him independently. And ain't nobody hiring Ralph. I'm sorry.
I don't know. His resume may add up. Oh, girl, his little thing might add up. Hold on now. Let's see how much money they make in Atlanta. Cause child, the bankroll for this is a little child. Let me find out. I gotta quit YouTube. We just started.
They own that house or are they renting? That'll let you know if somebody got it or not.
No,
Oh,
remember last season
he ain't
they
making
bought
that
it.
much.
So they bought it. Okay.
Yeah.
They make anywhere from $72,000 to $85,000 in salary.
He not making it. That's not a lot
In
of money.
Atlanta, which is weird because in New Jersey they make the most.
Don't forget
You
the
don't got
cost of living is cheaper, and let's not forget to how many years has he been in that field as well.
Yeah.
Once you're in there for a while and you know what you're doing, you can keep going to different companies, because they sign contracts where they keep them for a certain amount of years. And the people, will pay you if you trained and got, all the different certifications that you need in that field. He probably
Right.
making it.
All right,
Because
and
we
I don't know if
know
you guys.
she leaning on him. We know that.
I don't know if you guys are going to agree with my banner, well, with the banner that's about to come up next. But I personally feel like even though Drew lost the battle, she is low key winning the war.
I gotta see what you mean by that.
And I only say I give Drew a point for the final scene when they was trying to tell her like, oh, her husband. I mean, like the lady was trying to tell you about what the assistant was saying and trying to say how messy he was.
Right.
And I feel like that. I feel like Drew had made a good point, and I'm glad that production. Shout out to production because they are phenomenal this season with the playbacks and everything. I felt like that she was subtly eating Sheree up without even happening to raise her voice. Because Sheree's whole thing was, you're going around telling people instead of talking to me. And Drew was like, well, I tried to tell you at Kenya's event, but I mean, not at Kenya's event. She tried to tell her at Marlo's event, but things got cut short. And they had provided a clip of her saying that we have somebody in common we need to talk about. And then she was like, who? But then they was starting the thing.
What? I mean,
What do we know
just
about
what I
this?
heard.
What did you hear?
Well, I was trying to tell you at Marlo's event, I have to talk to you. We have some friends in common.
What we got in common, girl? Okay, things are happening.
I just want to say, what we got in common, girl?
That's what I was saying as far as I have gave Drew a point. And that's why I was saying that I'm not living for Auntie 1976 Spice Cabinet right now.
You gonna quit playing for Sheree? Sheree look good for her age.
She definitely do look good, but that's definitely a good thing for working out and going to see the person who gets your body together, i.e., her doctor, plastic surgeon, whatever you want to call him.
No, you could tell.
I don't
Sheree
know.
worked
I feel
out.
like
But
if Sheree got the information right with Ralph, that's Drew's Achilles heel. Every single time somebody bring up her husband, she gonna lose every single time because he don't stand up for her. And he just be disrespecting her on camera. It's like Mark with freaking Kenya. Like, so she gonna lose every time behind her husband.
before we get into that, let's just say because after this girl, the girls were fighting on Twitter.
See what I mean? You can't keep your marriage straight. Whether she calling him gay or whatever, she still took an L with that one.
Girl, but she said if you can't distinguish between spring, summer, and September, you probably can't keep your payroll straight.
She was coming. She kept coming. Like I want to say this has been as so far like one of the shadiest seasons for me. Like from the rip. Like we're only 3 episodes in. I can't wait to see what's coming.
And that's what I'm like. A situation like this is where I say double standards come into play at. And even after that scene, like when people were saying, well, they were steady trying to tell her, like you were saying it, but Kandi was the only person who had like low key stuck up for her. When she was like, she kind of understand where Drew was coming from. Because let's be honest here, there would have been no type of way that I would have sat back and would have been fine with somebody knowing something about my significant other, and you don't say nothing, but yet though you're upset because I didn't tell you that your assistant said that you did. Our mutual assistant at that said that you wasn't paying him.
Right. I can't wait to see what he got to say about him being the assistant saying he's gay.
Girl, he probably gonna lie.
He better diss that man the same way he be dissing his wife.
Exactly.
He probably gonna lie. That's what he probably gonna do.
He gonna lie. What he gonna say? I'm gay.
No, I thought we were talking about the assistant.
Oh yeah, the assistant gonna lie, definitely.
Especially if he getting paid, he gonna lie.
But how can you believe him when? Well, I don't know. He might tell the truth because look what he said about Sheree. So
I mean, but true. that's like saying, all right, who can I use? All right, that's like Steady saying the same thing to Marlo. Like, oh, you rented the Rolls Royce, or like, oh, you slept with the dude. I mean, that you were messing with the dude that Nene was messing with. Like, all right, that stuff. Like, they already admitted that stuff. It's been stated multiple times, and she has said it out of her mouth. Mm-hmm. She pays those who need to be paid. We know she do not pay people.
That's what I'm saying. Bro, He's speaking the truth.
If you ain't got it like that, because you got to put money on your man's books while he in a halfway house and order him a medium pizza with some wings and some fries and get him a pair of glasses, just say that. Like, just say that. Ain't nothing else to say. You cheat. Girl, it took you 13 years to build your house up in Atlanta at that.
Who are you talking about, Sheree? Oh.
Yes.
Okay.
It took her 13 years to build her house up in Atlanta. She started building her house in season what? 3, 2?
No, was it? No,
Like
3.
season 2? She built her house. All right, season 3 when Sheree, when oatmeal cream pie face was on there.
Yeah, after her divorced.
You started building the house on season 3, and we didn't get a finished product. I'll give her season 10 because she wasn't on season 11, 12, or 13. So we'll give her that. She probably got her house finished between them years. But girl, we know the finances ain't all there.
That's what I was about to say. Like everyone's always concerned about what does Marlo do for a living? What does Sheree do? Like we know She by Sheree came out like 10 years ago with the fashion line of
Girl, and they
photos.
said Sheree still ain't got nothing on her site yet. They said La Archive
Oh
got
my.
more getting more traction than She by Sheree.
Like, come on, Sheree. Like she could she can do a fashion show in her house and like she
You
needs to
gotta
do
have
something.
passion in
Like
order to do it.
where does she get this money? Where's this money coming from?
Child must be coming from the divorce from Bob.
Or never mind. I'm not even gonna say it, what I was about to say.
Girl, go ahead, say it.
Or maybe from her fraud of a boyfriend.
You said her what?
Her fraud of a boyfriend.
Child.
Yeah, that got it. I can't believe she's still with that man. That had me baffled. I was like, You waited till he got out of jail, sis. You stayed through that. As a woman like that, you're beautiful. You got a platform. I don't know. Bitches got to do better.
Girl,
She
when you say platform, say either alleged girl or part-time.
A who?
Alleged or part-time platform.
Regardless, she don't need to be cooped up with no nigga in jail. Like that was just a hot mess. I'm like, what type of example are you setting for your daughter?
Cause Sheree is like quick grits, girl. She get done real quick and then you don't see her for a hot minute.
Listen, she would have ate anybody else up if they had a nigga in the halfway house.
Well, her last boyfriend was Chris Tucker. I wonder what happened with them. Like, why did that end?
Oh, really? She dated Chris Tucker, the man.
Who last boyfriend?
Chris Tucker from Jackie Chan.
Yes, Chris Tucker.
What? That's to go from Chris Tucker to a nigga in jail is crazy.
Yes. Like what happened? Like that's what I'm saying. Like what happened? Sheree don't have a good track record with men.
She don't.
Oh.
They need to bring Bob back because Bob had that season popping while he was talking. I think that was like her best season. He did get on my nerves, but I feel like as far as authenticity and getting to see the real Sheree, that was a good season for it. Because Bob was from the toxic.
It was a hurtful season for it too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It was real authentic. Like you could tell, like, yeah, that man really hurt her.
Right.
This Tyrone thing seemed a little, I don't know. It's just not. I don't like it. What's up? What's up? You slipped. Come here. You scary, you know. But you know what? I also think that the newcomer, since we haven't even talked about her, Sanya Richards, she ain't getting a peach for next season.
I don't know because they said she did turn up, girl.
I don't know. She's giving boring right now. And you know who else is giving boring? Marlo. I really thought Marlo was going to come in blazing, but she's not, which I'm not mad at because I expected her to be extra, but she ain't being that extra.
You know what I can say about that situation as far as Marlo?
Yeah.
I feel like because we already know who she is.
Right.
because we already know like what we're kind of expecting of her,
Yeah.
it's a little different than it is. But one thing I will say, and I hope she don't talk about this all season. I'm so tired of hearing about her being a Monty. I mean, we only 3 episodes and girl, and I'm over it.
No,
I'm very over it. Like, okay, girl, we get it. You're doing what every other woman in America low-key doing, being a mom. Like, come on.
Yeah, girl, chuck it up, picnic basket. Girl,
no.
give it to Yogi Bear.
I think what they're doing is trying to push that housewife like homely look. You know, every wife when they first start, they push off that, oh, I'm a great mom. You know, that housewife, like they want to be perfect or whatever. But then eventually you start to see their true colors. Like they say in they used to say in real world, when things start when what is it? I forgot. But when things start getting real.
Girl, your age showing.
Oh yep.
I'm not saying sorry. Don't be young. I'm almost done.
But yeah. What?
Nuh-uh.
What?
Girl, not not Drew telling Sheree. Hold up, girl. Don't your peach have a PPP loan on it?
Oh no. Oh yes. Anthony must have helped her with that.
And she said, girl, bye definitely have been rated #1 3 weeks straight, and not to mention my screen time has been more than yours.
Ooh.
I mean, that's not kind of a read because girl, you've been only trending for 3 weeks straight because your man been dragging you for 3 weeks straight.
Mm-hmm. But he drags her every season. He doesn't drag her. I think he's respectful to her, but I think that he's a cheater. Like I think he loves her, but I think that he venture off a lot and he tries to manipulate her and make her think that that's not that's not what's going on. But everyone that's watching knows exactly what's going on.
Girl, Sheree said, girl, bye, not worried about that at all. Don't get too ahead of yourself, newbie. Everybody knows an oatmeal cream pie face voice. The only reason you got a second chance was because of the loss of 2 long-term peaches.
Mm.
I don't know. I feel like if Cynthia and Sheree, if Cynthia and Portia would have stayed, they wouldn't have had Sheree come back.
Mm-hmm.
Let's be honest. She got caught to film that same day they was at the thing watching Can You Do her stuff for Dancing with the Stars.
Child. Drew always got the same storyline, and Sheree always need to find one. Next.
I just want to say that I can't wait for next week's episode.
Yeah, this week's episode is kind of lackluster for me, honestly.
I wouldn't say it was lackluster, but like I said the last live, I don't want to hear about the same stuff over and over again.
Yeah.
And I feel like we've been on this for 3 episodes now. We don't need to hear this no more. I do not want to hear another thing about Drew and his assistant and Sheree and his assistant. Sheree, if you don't want your business out there, girl, pay these folks.
Exactly.
If that means your man gotta miss him a medium-sized pizza from some pizza shop in New York or New Jersey, girl, let it be. That man does fraud. He does fraudulent activities.
He'll figure it out.
Exactly. That man is in a halfway house. That man got access to a phone and probably a computer. That man could definitely get him a few thousand off of a Bitcoin transaction.
Mm-hmm.
Let that man live.
Probably already made your salary.
Wait, who got Bitcoin?
Allegedly.
Oh my gosh. They don't got no damn Bitcoin. You know how much Bitcoin costs right now? Honey, they is saying whoever got that Bitcoin right now is taking a big L.
Girl, she deals with a man
What we got in
that does
common? What we got in common, girl?
that man does stuff that does things in fraudulent activity. That man can flip.
It's given Apollo Nida point two, 2.0.
That man can flip a penny into 10 stacks by the time our life ends.
Yeah.
He ain't that important.
She ain't finna chateau Sheree on her own.
Girl, she ain't finna chateau Sheree on her own, and she by Sheree sitting over there with oatmeal cream pie face and the other one.
Sure.
Never to be seen. May make a cameo. But that's it. So, do we got anything else that we want to say?
No, I think that's it. I think we went over everything.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we want to thank you guys for tuning in and watching another episode, well, another review from the TSL show with your hosts, I, Torin. You guys can say your names.
So special.
Selena.
And before we end off this live, I want to say, as we're going throughout the month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So I'm gonna continuously keep saying this until the end of the month, and I'll probably say it a little bit in between throughout the rest of the times that we're doing this. If you guys are going through something, please seek help.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot easier to get help than to end a life and leave your loved ones hurt.
Mm-hmm.
Find somebody, find a therapist, find something that's therapeutic, because therapy is not for all people as far as speaking wise.
Mm-hmm.
Meditation, music, art, dance, self-expression, anything to help you out. If you guys have a chance to do so, please do so.
Right.
And before
do not
I get off,
self-medicate.
Yes, please don't do that. And before we get off, we would also like to send our condolences out to the people who have lost their lives tragically to the shooting inside inside New York.
Buffalo,
yes,
New York.
Yes. Pray for their family.
Rest in peace.
Yes, definitely sending love, peace, and light out to all of those who have been affected.
That was bad.
Yes, it definitely was.
But let us, you guys reach out to us. Let us know if you want us to talk about just the housewives, or move on to half housewife, half celebrity gossip and news. And I guess.
No, get off my foot.
Just let us know. Reach out to us. You guys have a good night. Guess we're going to end it here. Thanks for your support. Thanks for your likes. Make sure you guys subscribe and like and follow us. Have a good night.
Hello.
Yes.
Wait, well, I got y'all still on here. Are we keeping the time the same?
Yes. Let's do 8 o'clock Tuesdays. We can talk about this when we end the broadcast.
Yeah, because Sister muted her thing.
All right. Good night, guys.
All right. Catch you guys on the flip side.